So when I met Marcus, they called me and they hadn't found Conan yet. It had been about a month of auditions, and Kerry Barden knew me from Game of Thrones, and I was playing a role called Drogo. He was a pretty mean kind of guy. Hi, sweetheart. And he thought I'd be perfect for Conan. So I came in. I met Marcus actually in Kerry's office, and he liked what I did, and he was I was kind of taken back by Marcus because he's a big man. He's a big man with a lot of hair and looks like Santa Claus, and he's a sweetheart. And I actually had two friends that worked with him, and they spoke very highly of him, so I was interested to meet him. And then we did a camera test up at Frank Sinatra's house in the Valley, and that was a trip because it was like 40 degrees, and I was half naked swinging a sword, and he's like making me kill plants. This Conan is kind of interesting because it's like the origin of him. I get to play Conan with another fantastic actor, Leo Howard, and it's really the start of Conan, the beginning, and I'm introduced kind of what would be his pirate days with his friends, and they're right here on the Hornet, and then we find out who killed my father. I find out actually at a bar, someone who the first person who kind of contributed to killing my father, and then it starts this revenge quest. It's Conan. He's an icon. I read the stories when I was little. My first experience with Conan was the Frazetta, because both my parents are artists, and through a buddy, he had two Frazetta paintings in his house, and when I first saw them, they speak to you. I saw them, I was just like, wow. My sweetheart. Rachel's my partner in crime. She's been fantastic to work with. We went to war together. Lots of bumps and bruises, but Rachel's she's a sweetheart. And, she's my wife in the show. She's fantastic. I love Stephen Lang. I'm in his fan club. I'm the captain of his fan club. I love Stephen Lang. He is amazing. Person, actor. Leo Howard is the sweetest kid I've ever met in my life. He might be one of the nicest human beings I've ever met in my life. He made me smile all the time, and working with him was an absolute pleasure because we worked really hard so we could fit together. Like, Leo can fight so well, so I had to learn how to fight like Leo. And he had to kind of have my looks, because Leo looks a lot better than I do. He's cute and innocent, and he's got to look like a little badass. So we have the scar on the face, but we'd sit and look at each other before we started, and we'd just get down the walk. How he was kind of like a lion, like a wolf, panther. Just the way he stalked people. And we just sit there and look at each other and like get the eyes and the eyebrows, and he got it. And so watching his stuff, and they just melded together, and he's just a fantastic little actor and amazing at fighting. So I'm a huge Leo Howard fan. My first thing stepping onto was my first scene was in the jail with Lucius, and that was my first taste of what it was, and it really isn't that hard to act. That's one of the great things as an actor is you train really hard, you do your acting, you break it down, and then when you get to the wardrobe, you put the wardrobe on, you grab my sword, when I first grabbed that, and then you show up at set, it's like it just kind of falls in place. And when you have a really good department heads, Chris and Wendy, who did the wardrobe, it makes my job a lot easier. And the makeup, and it's just, you look in the mirror when Jason kind of disappears and Conan comes through. It feels nice. I started training in early February. I think I got it around in January. So I had about a month and a half before I came to Bulgaria to get big as possible. I put on about 25 pounds before I came, which isn't that much, but we basically trained I was up at 5:30 in the morning. I got to 87.11 about 6:30, and we trained for about 6 hours. I trained with David Leitch's partner, is Chad Stahelski. He was like in the Matrix. He did Keanu stuff, and he's his master sensei in sword work, and he just beat me up. We did 2 hours of sword training, which really helped me find my posture, how I walk, just how I hold the sword. I mean, everything. Really doing the sword training helped me find Conan, and the balance and the way I use my body, because I never used my legs that much, and it helped me find Conan's stance. And then we do weight training with Eric. And basically, I have a guy that follows me around and makes me do painful exercises and eat cardboard and